Welcome, everybody. I am Wendy Tediucci, Coach Wendy, easier way to say that, expert at Her Aging Parents, Her Thriving Business. And today I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things, specifically the 6 areas to put your attention on when you're taking care of an aging parent. Because a lot of times when we're suddenly, that could be a scenario, asked or no, or we have to jump in and take care of our aging parents. Often we don't know what we don't know. That was my experience. But now 12 years into going into my 12th year of taking care of my mom, who is going to be 88 very soon. In the beginning, I didn't know what I didn't know. And over the years, I have gotten myself together and now I'm helping others just like you who are taking care of an aging parent to make this an easier journey to navigate. Whew, right? So a little of my backstory for those of you that don't know. Yes, I've been taking care of my mom for the past 12 years. More than that, the other part of my why is my dad. My dad was taking care of his mother, and in the process, he was having some severe pain. Instead of going to the doctor, he took her prescription pain medication. When I was 5 years old, my grandmother passed away. My dad went to the doctor. Finally, he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. And he passed when I was 6 years old. Now, my mom told me what really happened with the prescription pain medication when I was in my 20s. And when I was in my 20s and I heard that, and that really landed with me, I thought to myself, you know what? If there's ever an opportunity that I have in my life to help others like my dad, I'm going to take it. I'm going to do it. And I filed that away in my 20-year-old brain. Cut to me when I'm 36 years old. My mom has 3 falls, very close succession. And the third fall was the worst. And I thought, oh my gosh, the next time she falls, it's going to be bad. She could break a hip. She could die. It's no joke. And so that's when I started taking care of my mom. Was it easy? No. Did I know what I needed to do and to move forward? Heck no. And over the years, I have figured myself out. And when my mom fell and when I began to take care of her, my 20-year-old note when I was in my 20s, right, came back to me and I was like, oh yeah, remember you said you're going to help people like your dad, people like yourself. And by the way, Wendy, you have training around this now. You've got the tools you need to help folks like your dad, like you. And I've been doing that ever since. And I've helped so many individuals that have been taking care and are taking care of an aging parent to smooth out their journey. So they have what they need when they need it, along with the support for themselves. So that's my why. That's my story. Why does that matter to you? Well, you might be here because your parent fell. They're hospitalized. They've been diagnosed with dementia. Something like this is happening. Or you've noticed that when they're driving, it's scary. You're like, okay, well, something needs to be done. You could just be starting out to take care of an aging parent. And what that might mean is you're getting groceries for them. You're reminding them of appointments. You're doing the dishes for them. You could be in it and in it deep and in it for a while. And if you are, and if you're here, I want to give you a standing ovation, because it's so difficult sometimes when you have been in it for so long to think of yourself. So if you're here, you're thinking of yourself, and congratulations. I'm so glad, because when you put yourself first, everything else falls into place. My client, Sally Joe, said that. Sally Joe, by the way, is taking care of her sister and her husband. And she also runs a coaching practice. And through this, why she came to me, she was exhausted. She was having health issues. And as a result, her business was going under. She was not charging what she was, what the value was for the transformation she provided. She wasn't valuing herself because she was exhausted. And she said to me, you know, Wendy, once I put myself first, everything else fell into place. And for real, it did. When she put herself first and her care first, then she was able to raise her prices because she raised her confidence in herself. And she began to enroll new clients again at a higher rate. In addition to that, she started getting help for herself, having someone mow the lawn. There was no reason in the world why Sally Joe needed to do that herself. She got help to do that so she could devote more time to caring for her husband, to caring for her sister. So what we're going to cover today are those 6 areas to be aware of when you're taking care of an aging parent. We're going to talk about how to have that uncomfortable conversation with your aging parent, with a family member, with a friend, with literally anyone. I'm going to walk you through how to have that conversation. And I'm also going to walk you through a little technique that I use with my mom that works really well when she's doing something that is not safe. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about that and walk you through that. And all of this information is contained in my course, my online course, Caregiver Support and Resource Connection. And so at the end of the call, I'm going to give you a special invitation to a complimentary consultation with me, because I know you're going to have questions. And so that's going to be available for you at the end of this conversation today. So let's start from the top. What are those 6 areas to be aware of as you're taking care of an aging parent? Number 1, your self-care. And I put that first because if you're not taking care of yourself, how in the world are you going to take care of others? I experienced this myself. When I started taking care of my mom, by the way, I'm a high achiever. Anyone else here a high achiever? And I was making sure that everything was in place. Mom was good. She was settled in her new retirement community. It was a big shift for her. And I wanted to make sure that she had everything she needed and she was happy and right, all the things. In addition to that, I was trying to run my business, not very successfully because I was exhausted. My relationships were failing. My health started failing. I started experiencing some weird neurological symptoms that I couldn't explain. Well, it was due to exhaustion and lack of a good diet, lack of sleep. And once I put myself first and started addressing getting better sleep, eating better, exercising, all of the things, then I had more of myself to give to my business, to my relationships, to my health, and to my mom. So your self-care, what does that look like? It might look like doing some deep breathing, putting both feet on the floor, grounding yourself, putting your hands on your heart, closing your eyes, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Could be doing something like that when you're feeling anxious, worried, stressed, taking that time doing that deep breathing. Practicing mindfulness. Where you're at, be fully present. asking for what you need, asking your partner, I need this, asking your parent, I need this, asking for help, and reaching out to someone like me, reaching out to a community of support like I have, taking care of business and aging parents. I'll leave that link below so that you can join our community. So you have that support of others that are going through very similar challenges in navigating taking care of an aging parent and living your life, running your business, all the things. Self-care could also look like summoning your circle of support. Like, Wendy, what is a circle of support? These are the individuals that are in your life that support you. Could be people like, who are the people that make you laugh? Who are the people that ask you really good questions that helps you to think and get clarity on something? Who is the person in your life that just knows who to connect you to? It's great at connecting people, right? Who are those people? Who is the person in your life that will drop everything and be by your side when you need them? That's your circle of support, okay? So that's one area, and that's the most important area to be aware of when you're taking care of an aging parent. Second, medical. And it's great to find out from your aging parent, who are your doctors? Getting that information. Is there a patient portal that I can log into and ask your doctor questions? If your parent has been hospitalized, who's the social worker? Find that out. Have a conversation with that social worker so that they understand your unique challenges and needs. Hey, I have a business. I am working my ass off. I am my sole provider. This is my situation. How can you help me to make this a smoother situation, transition, right? That continuum of care for your aging parent after the hospital. What's next? How can you, social worker, help me, right? Ask for help. Ask for what you need. And what is the care plan? By that, I mean, your parent has fallen. They're in the hospital. What's the next step? Your parent has been diagnosed with dementia. What is the care plan? What is that looking like, right? And to get that care plan, that's the social worker. That's you. Sometimes it might just be you. And that's why it's important to reach out to someone like me. That's why it's important to be in our community, our Facebook community, taking care of business and aging parents. Now, regardless of whether or not you have a business, doesn't matter. I say that because business owners, entrepreneurs have a soft spot in my heart because I am a business owner and an entrepreneur. But if you're a caregiver, you qualify, join us. Taking care of myself. You're living cause you to wonder, right? What does that living arrangement look like now? What are the possibilities? What does your parent want? And I'll get to finding that out in just a few seconds. What do you want? What do you want the living arrangement to look like? Do you want your parent to move in with you? Do you want your parent to move into a retirement community? Do you want one of your siblings to take care of your aging parent? There are all kinds of options. There's no right or wrong answer. Okay. No right or wrong answer. What will it cost? What will this living arrangement cost? What will your parents' insurance cover? Find out. Do they have long-term care insurance? What are the qualifiers for long-term care insurance to kick in? What other options are available? If your parent is a veteran, there is financial assistance for that. So that's living arrangement. That's the third area. The fourth area is care. This is really important, and I invite you to really listen to me when I'm saying this and hear me. If you are not ready to make a big decision, don't. Manage the situation, whatever it is, as best you can, and make a decision once you are ready. Don't let anybody push you into anything. If you need answers to questions and you're not sure who to reach out to me, and I can direct you to whoever you need to talk to get those questions answered so you can take that next step. It might be making the decision. It might be, oh, I need to talk to this person now and find this out, right? Who will provide care? Will it be you? Will it be a retirement community? Will it be an in-home care provider? Many different ways. Who will provide care? What products, systems, service does your parent need, right? That's all part of care. That's the fourth area. The fifth, financial. What resources does your parent have to pay for their care? Who's your parents' financial advisor? Do they have one? Who's your parents' tax preparer? What banks do they bank at? Credit unions. Get that information from your parent. And let me tell you, it's probably going to be a struggle. It was for me to get that information for my mom. It was like pulling teeth. But I'm going to give you a couple of tools to make that easier for you. Does your parent have long-term care? Find that out. That was the fifth area. Now, the sixth and final area, legal. Who is your parents' attorney? What legal documents do they have? Do they have an estate plan? Do they just have a will? What do they have? Hopefully they have a power of attorney, a durable power of attorney, something, both. Are you the power of attorney? If they have one, are you the power of attorney? If you are, keep a copy of that document with you. Now, I have a digital document on my phone in the cloud that has worked just fine. I also have a paper copy in a file cabinet. Does your parent have a DNR, a do not resuscitate order? Find that out. Does your parent have a will, right? So those are the 5 areas to be aware of when you're taking care of an aging parent. Okay, so we've got that. Check that off the list. Now, I mentioned a couple of times when you're having to get information from your aging parent, let's say they're able to have conversations, right? To whatever degree, hopefully to some degree. And you need information. I need to find out the banking. I need to find out the passwords. I need to find out if who are your doctors? Do they have a patient portal that I can log into and have a conversation with your doctor, right? Woo! Your parent is going to be like super resistant, and they are going to be on high alert, especially if, good heavens, hang on, I'll take care of myself. Especially if they've had a mishap, like my mom. She fell for the 3rd time got a call to meet her at the hospital. They were taking her by ambulance. I get there. She's got a concussion. She's got her head all wrapped up. She's got black eyes, bloody nose. She's cut her lip. It was bad. Okay. Um, something happens to your parent. They get a diagnosis. They fall. Something. They are going to be on high alert for you, their child, because they know that you're going to be like, oh my gosh, what do we need to do? I need to, right? Because you want to take care of them. You want to make sure they're safe, that they know they're coming. They know that you're coming for their independence is the bottom line, right? And they don't want that. Who does? Who wants their independence infringed on? Well, you're doing it from a place of love, and you're doing it from a place of, I want you to be safe. So here's how you have those uncomfortable conversations to break the ice so that you can get the information that you need so that you can take care of your aging parent and do it in a loving way that supports you and supports them. Okay, you ready? Here's how you do it. So you say to your aging parent something like, there's something I need to discuss with you, and I won't take any action at all until we've talked about this. Can we talk? If they say no or show any kind of resistance at all, do not have the conversation then. Try it again another day. If they say yes, celebrate that, and then say, okay, great. And you're going to say something like, I need, no, back up. You're going to say, I feel. Tell your parent how you feel. I'm worried. I'm scared, whatever it is. Second, this is where it comes in. I need. Tell them what you need or what you think you need. Whatever. I need to make sure you're safe. Say what you need. And then ask your parent, what do you need? And then zip it and listen. Because when they're saying to you what they need, your next steps could be contained in that. For an example, when I walked through this with my mom after the third fall, after she got home from the hospital, she said to me, I want to go live. And she named off the retirement community. Okay, I have a direction. This is what she wants. And quite truthfully, it's what I want too. I am not a caregiver. I'm not good at it. So for her to say this, I was like, yes, right? So that's how you have the uncomfortable conversation. And I mentioned earlier, this technique that I keep in my back pocket when my mom is doing something unsafe and I want her to stop. And instead of saying, Mom, that's unsafe, don't do that, which does not work. Anybody tried that? I use this method. And I'll give you this scenario. Mom is at her retirement community. She's all settled in. She has a patio that is great in the summer, in the fall, and the spring. The winter, not so much. Mom loved to go on that patio and feed the birds. She had bird feeders, right? Well, winter has arrived, and come to find out, actually, she tells me this. She says, oh, I went out to feed the birds today. And I'm making this face because that day it was slippery outside. I don't know if they're treating the patio in the winter, probably not. Is she in a retirement community and is she, does she have people around her and nurses? And yes, of course. But boy, one slip Could be a broken hip. It could, see where I'm going with this, right? Instead of saying to my mom, oh my gosh, it's unsafe. You're going to fall. You're going to slip. Don't do that. I said, oh, I said, Mom, can I ask you something? I said, what if you go out there and you slip and fall? She said, someone will pick me up. Well, that's true. I said, what if no one sees you fall? What if it's a while before they notice that you're laying out there? She says, I'll press my button. She has a lanyard with a button to summon the nurses. And it works 99% of the time. One time it did not work. It was all fine. It worked out. The battery had gone kaput, right? But I said to her, what if it doesn't work? What if the battery is depleted? And then she went, oh, I won't feed the birds in the winter. I'll ask one of the nurses to do it. I was like, great. So that's I call it the what if process. I just what if her. And you can use this on your spouse, on yourself too, to figure some things out. Now, all of this content that I've shared with you today is available in my program, online course, self-guided, caregiver support and resource connection. And if you've got questions from what I've said today and what I've shared with you, I'm going to have a link in the description for you to schedule your complimentary consultation with me. No charge, no obligation at all, but we'll talk about what your challenges are and the solutions you would love to see and your next best steps to get those. It could be, boy, I don't know what I don't know. What does my path going forward look like? How am I going to take care of myself? How am I going to take care of my business? I've got kids. How am I going to do all this, right? We'll talk about all of that and get you a clear path moving forward. Friends, it has been so good to talk with you today. And I hope this has been helpful for you. See you next time.